How's it going, Jack Tackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today, I'm going to be doing my review for The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 2. Now, this was Chapter 18, The Mines of Mandalore. And overall, my general thoughts on the episode, I thought it was pretty dang good. Maybe even better than the premiere, I don't know for sure. I like both episodes equally, maybe. But overall, yeah, I would say this was another solid episode for The Mandalorian Season 3, which is a good thing. Now, I like the cold opening of this episode where we get to see Peli again, because obviously Mando's still looking for a droid, and then we see that he gets R5 to take to Mandalore, which I thought that was pretty cool. It was cool to see R5, and I also liked right before the title card dropped, all the fireworks popping off, and Grogu looking out the window. It was very cute, and honestly, Grogu this whole episode was just a goat, and also very adorable. There's a lot of good Grogu scenes in this episode, and that is always a plus. But anyway, Mando and Grogu end up getting to Mandalore, and honestly, the overall look and aesthetic of Mandalore looks really cool in this episode. It looked really solid, and R5 is sent to kind of check out the planet, make sure the air is breathable and stuff. But then Mando loses connection with him, and then he has to get out of the starfighter and look for him. And then he comes across this cave, which again, just the whole atmosphere. It was a very atmospheric episode, to be honest, and very just cool to look at, and it was a very cool feeling. But he ends up encountering these like Alamites. I think that's what they call them in this episode. I call them cave monkeys. That's what they look like. But Mando whips out the Darksaber and becomes a badass and kills them. And it was really, really awesome. But anyway, then he sees R5 again, and then he discovers a civic center, which Bo-Katan was kind of telling him about, that the mines were underneath the civic center in the previous episode. And then obviously Mando uses a jetpack to go down, which, again, a very cool scene. It was a very interesting scene, and it looked so good. This episode really looked amazing, which is always a plus. And then we see Mando come across some helmets of the dead Mandalorians who were here before, and then he's like, uh-oh, because then he gets captured by a giant robot crab. And Grogu tries to help him, but he's really no use in this situation, unfortunately. So he has to basically use the Force to fly the starfighter to Bo-Katan, which was just absolutely insane. I can't believe Grogu was able to pull off so many things in this episode. You know, doing a bunch of flips that he learned from Luke and stuff. It was just amazing. I loved that. It was very cute and just really cool to see. But yeah, he flies the starfighter using the Force, presumably, to the Mandalorian castle where Bo-Katan's held up at. And Bo-Katan's like, all right, fine, where is he? And then she gets to Mandalore. And then she ends up using the Darksaber once she actually comes across Mando. And it was really cool to see her use the Darksaber as well. I like that we actually got to see Mando and Bo-Katan use it in the episode. And I know there's been a debate on whether or not Bo should use it or if Mando should use it. And yeah, I think it was really awesome that we got to see both of them used in the episode. And honestly, let me just say something. I don't think this is a super hot take, because I've seen some people talk about this already. But I kind of ship Mando and Bo-Katan. I'm not going to lie. Their chemistry was off the charts this episode. I'm just going to be honest. I think they should get together. All right? And I know not everyone will agree with that, but I also feel like a lot of people will. So you never know. I think they should. Because I really liked their relationship, and also the Mandalorian was kind of learning more about Bo-Katan in this episode, and I really liked all those scenes with them when they were walking to the water in the mines. Really good stuff. And they actually end up making it to the water. And I'll be honest, I thought all sorts of things were going to happen when they got to the water. I mean, the sexual tension was off the charts. Maybe I'm making this up in my mind, but I thought, it was getting a little steamy, brother. But yeah, I was actually wondering if Din Djarin was gonna take his helmet off, but no, that didn't end up happening. I was kind of expecting it to, and I think it would have been really nice if that did happen. But I also, I don't know the Mandalorian customs. I guess you don't have to take your suit off when you go into these waters. So I didn't know what was gonna happen, dude. I'll tell you. But basically, he goes in there, and you kind of see Bo-Katan's faith kind of being restored in Mandalore when he goes in. And then he gets pulled under by the Mythosaur, which is craziness. Now, Bo-Katan ends up going into the water to save him and pulls him back out, and everything's fine. But that's basically where the episode ends. When she, it was a very rough landing when she pulled him out of the water. I'll tell you that much. I was like, oh dang, is Mando all right? He like bonked his head when he was flying out of the water. But, Bo came in clutch. And she was really good this episode. I mean, really fantastic stuff. Was this a coincidence that this episode came out on International Women's Day? I mean, I don't have anything negatives to say about Bo-Katan. I liked Bo-Katan in the episode, but I do think it's maybe a little bit coincidental. Or was it done on purpose that this episode came out on International Women's Day in Women's Month? Who knows? Either way, though, I do kind of ship Bo and Mando. I just got to say it. I really do. The relationship in this episode was really solid. And it does seem like once Bo-Katan saw the Mythosaur, her faith in Mandalore was kind of restored. Because the customs, she didn't really believe in it really anymore. Or she was like loosely following it and all that stuff. She wasn't really a hardcore Mandalorian like Din Djarin is. The Mandalorian. He's a the Mandalorian. And either way though, I think it was really impressive to see the Mythosaur in that water. It was a very cool design and looked really awesome. Overall, the episode looked amazing. All the little creatures, those little dragon things. I don't know what those were called. I don't know if they said in the episode, but yeah, I know the Alamites, which were those cave monkeys. They were really awesome. And then that robot thing that could he also came out of the robot crab. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but you know the robot thing in this episode. That was also really cool. Really great design, which is something else I should note about the episode. Not only were the effects good, like the CGI and stuff. It's always good, though, in The Mandalorian, I feel like. I mean, there's been very rare instances where I'm like, the CGI doesn't really look good. I think the CGI was still great in this episode, and also just the creature design itself was very awesome and interesting. And, highlight of the episode has to be Grogu and Bo-Katan. They came in clutch this episode. Mando, man, he wasn't really doing that much, to be honest. He could have done a bit more, but he got captured and couldn't really do anything. So Grogu and Bo-Katan kind of had to help him. But it was really good stuff and really good moments. I think the more I think about it, I would probably say that this episode's better than the previous one. But I don't know for sure. Either way, I'm still really loving this season, which is good. Some people have said maybe it's kind of lost its charm a little bit. I disagree. But, I'm not going to say it's the best season so far or anything, but I really like these first two episodes, and I think there's still a lot of intrigue that this series has to offer. And, I'm really looking forward to see what happens in the other episodes, and a lot of good stuff this episode. Really, a lot of good stuff. So, I like the episode. Out of 10, I'd probably give it like a 8.5 or something. Pretty decent. Anyway, with that being said, let me hear your thoughts on the episode down in the comments below. What did you guys think about this one? I'm very curious to see what you have to say, because I feel there's a lot to talk about, and a lot of lore, a lot of Mandalorian lore that we could go into, and because Mandalore was kind of becoming it's a tomb now, as Bo-Katan says. So it used to be a thriving place, and that was kind of sad to see it all decrepit and whatnot. But yeah, I liked the episode. So did you guys like it? Maybe you didn't. That's okay. But let me hear all the hot takes down in the comments, and if you have any hot takes, that is. But it's good stuff. And with that being said, if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.